Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to talk about some of the new stuff which has appeared for the Primaris in the Apocalypse PDFs, which are free, by the way. I'll include the link in the description. Fantastic incentive of GW releasing free stuff for you. My good holy emperor, what is going on? But more or less, I want this video to be going over the fact that Space Marine Codex has to be coming. It has to be coming. It really has to be coming. There's just so much stuff that we have now that is not in the Codex. So let's jump in and let's have a little discussion about it. Thank you for everyone who sent me these images. I got like 20 messages in like the last 5 minutes saying, hey Varric, have you seen this? Have you seen this? Thank you all for your awesome support. I can't name you all because I'll be here bloody all day. So as I previously just mentioned, if you go over to the Apocalypse site and you download the PDF, specifically the Space Marine one, there is weapons in there now which are not featured in any of the models that we actually have at the moment. What I mean by that is, if you look at the stats I'm showing you up on the screen now, the Eliminator squad, which is the sniper squad, which was released in the Shadow Space box set around 2 to 3 months ago now, if I'm not mistaken. I know a lot of people are like, where are the bloody Eliminators in their multi-part format? We want them. What's going on, GW? Now, this is probably the reason why, because there's a new weapon attached to them called a Las Fulsis. Fullis? I'm sorry, I'm awful. Yes, let's just call them Las FUs. So instead of the bolt sniper rifles, you can equip this weapon on them as well. It's got the same range as them, so it's a 36 inches. Now, I'm not too sure about the stats because the stats are different when it comes to Apocalypse and all that kind of stuff, but it's definitely a brand new weapon. So I'm wondering, is this the reason why this squad has been delayed? Because there is going to be another Space Marine release this year, hopefully, which will include a multi-part format of these guys with new weapon options. Now, someone also pointed out to me that the Reavers have something new as well. Now, when I looked at this, I think it's basically just a name change for the Reaver squad that maybe GW have decided to do, but it could possibly be a actually brand new weapon. So in the actual 8th edition Space Marine Codex that we have now, all they have for a close combat weapon is a combat knife. That's all we have. But when we look at this profile over on the Armageddon stats, they have something called Reaver blades, and they have something called close combat weapons. So I'm not too sure what that could be. I personally think it could be just a simple name swap, and they're just calling them Reaver blades rather than, you know, a combat knife. But if it is something, maybe a Reaver blade, and it's like a big long sword, does that kind of confirm now that the Primaris range are getting a bit more love when it actually comes to close combat? Because that is something that we desperately need when you look at the Primaris forces. The lack of close combat compared to the other races and, you know, the normal Space Marines as well. They get to take, you know, the Storm Shields, Thunder Hammers, all that kind of stuff. At the moment, it's just our Sergeants which can take Power Fists or Chain Swords and stuff like that. So if they're broadening that out and adding that to your Rangers like the Reavers, hopefully that will start applying to the Intercessors and all that kind of stuff, so we can broaden our squads. I would absolutely love to have Sword Brethren Primaris. It would just be incredible. One thing that also got confirmed for me personally through all this is that the Suppressor squads, these are the guys that have the jump packs, and they have the big accelerator autocannons on them. You know, people made fun of them for, like, you know, they're flying around with autocannons and stuff. I was personally hoping that they would get a multi-part kit and they would have las cannons attached to them rather than autocannons. But if we're looking at the data sheets and stuff like that, it only has accelerator autocannons on there, so it more or less squashes that theory which I and other people had. So deep shame. I'll just have to look out, and maybe GW will release some kind of las cannon marine in the future for my Primaris range. So what does this mean now for the Space Marines? It means that we're getting a ton of new stuff, and it means that most of the stuff now, especially for the Primaris guys, technically all for the Primaris guys, is outside of the Codex. Now, there's been talkings, there's really been, I haven't seen any rumours. It's more or less just people like putting 2 to 2 together, like myself, thinking there's so much stuff outside of these box sets now, because you have stuff like the new execution tank, for example. That is outside the box. We've got no rules. Well, we will have in-box rules for inside the box, but we won't have, you know, a codex with that in the book. Again, for the Eliminators, for the Vanguard Marines, the Vanguard Librarians, the Vanguard Captain, you've got stuff like the Crimson Fist getting brand new tactics in the White Dwarf magazines. You know, the Imperial armors that they've been doing. Blood Ravens are supposed to be coming in July for them to get Imperial armor and all that kind of stuff. So more and more chapters are getting more love, and we've had the beta bolter rule now, which has been brought into play. So it only makes sense now for GW to do another Space Marine Codex, Space Marine Codex 2.0, just like they did with the Chaos Space Marine book when they released Abaddon and all that kind of stuff around Vigilus. It only makes sense for the Space Marines to get that same treatment with Space Marine Codex 2.0 in 8th edition, where they add all these chapter relics, chapter tactics, all the new Marines and everything that goes along with them inside this new codex. Because at the moment, if I go to a game with this book and I'm playing with most of the new Primaris models, they're not even in the Space Marine Codex anymore. The Eliminators, the new execution tank, they're just not here. So there's really no point in me taking this Space Marine Codex. I'm taking inbox rules to play with my friends when I actually go and game with them, and it just feels dirty in basically some kind of way. I'd rather take a nice new shiny book with all these rules in it, or, you know, maybe a digital update on the digital codex if you buy from the Apple store or the Android store, wherever you buy your digital books from. Maybe just a nice little update on that format, because the last thing I want is to be taking my Space Marine Codex, all the White Dwarfs, the inbox rules, just to play one game of 40k. It's kind of one of them things where GW promised us at the start of 8th edition, it's not going to be like 7th, where you had, like, you know, 6 or 7 books to play one army of guys, but that's what it's turning into at the moment. Now, I know new models have to come out. I completely understand that. I've got nothing against that, but at least give, like, a digital update to this stuff. Like I said, in, like, the digital Space Marine Codex, surely that takes not a lot of effort rather than a printed magazine. I can understand a printed magazine because you have to go to the printers, print it all out, costs a lot of money, but if you do it in digital format, they've definitely got, like, the PDF, like, graphic guide. All you have to do is just add all the rules that are actually they're printing out on the inbox rules, and just add it to the digital codex. It's just there. All right, new editions, just put it at the back or something like that. Surely that is going to be more simple than anything else. So please, GW, I'm asking, please, just do that, or just drop Space Marine Codex 2.0, because I'm sick of carrying like 6 bloody books around at the moment. It's just not fair. I sound like bloody Perturabo, don't I? Like a child spitting his dummy out. It's not fair, father. I should be defending terror. Wah! Right, that is enough for me for one day. Thank you for watching this video. Tell me what you think. Do you think the new Eliminator stuff is definitely coming in the multi-part box set? Do you think the Reaver Blade things is just a rename of the Reaver Blades? Let me know. We can have a nice little discussion down in the comments section. As always, thank you once again for watching this video. It's been emotional. Fingers crossed that we will get a new Space Marine Codex ASAP. Hopefully they will bring out a Primaris transport to go with it, because damn if I'm damned if I'm bloody putting my guys in the back of an executioner tank where I just want to sit it in the corner and fire its bloody las destroyer gun, whatever it's bloody called. God damn it, GW. Give me my goddamn Primaris flywood transport capabilities. But that's another subject for another time. I'm not going to go down there. Right, thank you for watching the video. I'll see you all in a bit. Have a good one. Have a nice night, and I'll speak to you soon. See you now, and bye-bye.